Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Ashleigh for those of you who are new here. For those of you who aren't, hi, thanks for joining me once again. So today's video is one that I've wanted to do for quite a while, but I wasn't really sure how to do it. I was going to plan this video out, but I decided that I kind of want it to come more from the heart, in the moment kind of thing. I kind of wish I'd written down things I wanted to say because I will forget, but I may do a part 2 or a follow-up with this one. If you've been around on my channel for a while, I used to do loads of Let's Talk videos, which I really liked. And I might do again, so if there's any topics you guys want me to discuss on my channel, let me know. I do usually do a Let's Talk. So for example, last year I did a Let's Talk about fitness and then had you guys send me your questions and specific topics to cover on that specific topic over on my Instagram, and then covered that and also talked about anything specific I wanted to talk about. So if you guys would like to see more of those, do let me know what kind of topics you'd like to see me do a Let's Talk on. I've done a few on I think I've done body confidence, mental health, friendships, things like that. I can revisit those topics as I have obviously done them over a year ago now. So if you guys want me to do those same topics, let me know. I'll leave a Let's Talk playlist link down below as well if you want to have a look at those older videos. But yeah, I can do those again. Or if you've got any other different topics you want me to cover, then I will. If you have any questions on this topic, then I will also answer them. If you want to send me a DM, I can get to them in a separate video, maybe a follow-up. I didn't put on Instagram about doing this video because I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not, but I really think it's important to talk about, which is why I decided to do the video. Like I said, I haven't scripted it or planned it like I was going to, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit all over the place. I'll try and keep it not too long, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about it with you guys. So I can't remember what the question was that I had. There's a new thing on Instagram which is called NGL. It's a app where you can send a link on your Instagram and then you can get anonymous questions sent to you. So I got a question, I can't remember what it was. Let me have a little look if I can see. So the question was, I was how are you doing? You aren't your usual bouncy self, which I absolutely love because I had never described myself as bouncy. I've never seen myself as energetic or in that sense. So I was oh, someone sees me as bouncy. What a random word for me. Do you know what I mean? Hang on, my microphone's all over the place. So that caught me by surprise, but it was also quite nice to know that someone would consider me as that. I'm assuming that's a positive. I think my answer was something to do with that I've been struggling a bit with my anxiety, which I have, but that's another thing. I have done a mental health video on here before, but if you want me to a mental health update or cover that again, like I said, I can. But also on that topic, another thing I've struggled with for probably over a year now is my weight and my body image of myself. And that honestly is something that I've struggled with for pretty much my whole life, but more so over the last year, and in the last year has had an impact on me. I think I touched on it briefly last year. I did a welcome back to YouTube kind of thing, but again went back off YouTube. Like I said before, I've trying to be more consistent now that we've moved in. And part of that was obviously I got into a new relationship. We come out of lockdown really busy, so kind of fell out of filming. But I don't really know, there's not really a pinpoint for it. Obviously getting into a relationship means you eat a lot more, so I've definitely gained weight since being in a relationship, but I also went back on the pill, which obviously can mean you retain weight or gain weight. And yeah, I mean, it's probably more of a longer period than I realised. I think over the last year, definitely April, May last year, I had gained weight from the previous year, and I was probably about a size 10, which has been my usual size. I would say me at a healthy weight is a size 10. But in lockdown, I was literally a size 8 at a max, but I was sitting at around a 6 and a 4 in some clothes. So my clothes were a size 4, which I honestly, when I got into I think it was a size 6 skirt I got into first, and I was what? I'm in a size 6 skirt. And then I got some joggers that I had to get 3 different times. I got in a size 8 and they were too big, got in a 6 and they were too big, so I had to get a 4. And I was like, oh my god, I'm in a size 4. Like, I just felt incredible that I could get into a size 4. And like, looking back now, I just think, and even now, I think it's so sad how we let that number on the label define us. Like, I used to feel awful at school because I would be buying a size 10 and my friends would be buying a size 8 or a size 6. And who cares? Like, as long as the clothes fit you and you feel comfortable and happy, I'm at that point now where I don't care what size it is as long as I feel good. But with that being said, clothes sizing has been a struggle. So like I said, I was about a size 4, size 6 in lockdown. I was probably about an 8 to a 10 last April to June. But then I started to gain weight, and probably around Christmas, beginning of this year, I leaned more into the size 14 to 16. Now, I think people would look at me and think that I'm slimmer than I am. I don't know. I just feel like a lot, like when I speak to people like at work or like other people, they're always like, oh, but you're tiny. And I'm like, I'm really not tiny. Like, I used to be so happy to post photos of me in bikinis and like underwear, and I used to do like underwear hauls and things here on YouTube. For one, I wouldn't post underwear hauls on YouTube now. I'm in a new relationship, we have boundaries. And that's something I wouldn't do out of respect for my partner, which that's my decision. He's not telling me I can't, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable doing that when I've got him because of the comments and things that you get on those types of videos. And equally, I have posted in swimwear on my Instagram since holiday. Again, I think it's slightly different, but the main post I was doing was a body confidence one, and I was wearing an all-in-one swimsuit, so it's a bit different. But the main reason for that post was because I was struggling so hard before holiday. I was looking for bikinis or swimsuits for ages. I've kept thinking, you can wear a bikini, you'll look fine, and I kept trying on bikinis and hating them. Swimsuits were just so uncomfortable on me. I've got quite a long body, so they feel like they really stretch around the nunny, which isn't very nice. You want to feel suffocated in a swimming costume, you really, really don't. So I was really struggling, and I was literally at the end of my tether. 2 days before we went away, I actually bought some bikinis in New Look because they seemed to fit fine and I was happy with them. I actually only ended up wearing one. But I ordered some swimwear off of Boohoo because I'd got some from Shein and I liked a couple of the bits that I got. I was gifted some, but I also bought some. But I didn't feel 110% confident, and I knew that it was just going to bring me down on holiday. So I ordered some from Boohoo on the Saturday for next day delivery, thinking it would come on the Monday, but it didn't come till the Tuesday morning. We were going away on the Wednesday and I was stressing so much. But I loved all of the swimwear and I felt so confident and amazing in them, which really, really helped. Like, without those swimsuits, I wouldn't have felt confident on holiday. Obviously, I have Pat there who was telling me I look amazing, but it's a self thing, definitely, that you want to feel good in yourself. I think the main thing is definitely clothes, because I've got clothes from when I was skinny that obviously didn't fit, and I was like, when we were moving out, I was going through all my clothes, trying on everything, and the amount of things that I couldn't get over my legs or didn't fit me on the top, it just wasn't, it was really depressing actually. One of the worst things, it's going to sound silly, but I had such a big Angel collection. I did a video on it like last year and then bought more since then. But I had to get rid of a lot of my Angel collection stuff. I did give a lot of it to one of my best friends, so that's fine, I feel better about it. But I absolutely loved some of those joggers and things and couldn't keep it. So that was really sad for me, because I love those bits and I now don't own them, if that makes sense, and they're things that you can't buy again. I equally don't want to spend loads of money on buying stuff that's a 14 to 16 because I do want to lose weight. There's nothing wrong with being a 14 to 16, nothing wrong at all. I'm not unhealthy. I eat quite good, to be honest. I have done really since January. But yeah, in myself, I just want to feel better, even if I remain a size 14 to 16. As long as I lose a little bit of the weight that I've got and I feel comfortable and I fit into clothes and feel happy, that's fine, because the size doesn't matter. I can go into Zara and a size large wouldn't fit, but I could go into H&M and try on a size small and it's too big. Do you know what I mean? Like, sizing is just so wrong. I used to get an extra small in Angel Collection even when I was about a 10, and an extra small is not a 10. And I would say a 10's about a medium to small, maybe, depending on the sizing. I'd say an extra small is like a 6. A small is an 8, a medium is a 10 to 12, and then a large would be 14 to 16, extra large 18 to 20. That's my kind of thought process of sizing, because the average size is a 12 in the UK, so technically a medium should be a 12. And I know that I should not ever have been a size 8. Like, I have thick thighs, I always have done. Even when I used to work out consistently, I had thick thighs, and that's okay. Like, you don't need your thighs to be skinny, you don't need a thigh gap, and I've always had like a robust bum, so to have that you need to have thick thighs to keep them up. Like, I think it's so sad, and a lot of this I wanted to talk about was that this has been in my mind since I was a child. One of the things that I was going to mention is that, like, as a child I was told you're fat. Like, obviously it's a sibling thing and it's a thing kids say. My sister would call me fat when I was a child, and where do we pick that up from? Who has said something about being fat in a negative tone that makes us take it on and it be a thing that we say that's horrible? Because I wasn't fat as a child. My sister was always thinner than me, but I wasn't fat. I was a child, for one. And then throughout school, I always felt fat, but I wasn't. Like, I was not fat. And I look at me at like 17, 18, 19, when I was a size 10. And I would wear little crop tops and things, but I never felt comfortable. And I'd wear bodycon dresses, but again, I wouldn't feel comfortable. And again, I think it wasn't really my weight. It was that I've always struggled with bloatedness. And when if I'd wear a bodycon dress and I'd be bloated, I didn't feel comfortable, which is the same no matter what size you are. But I think rather than saying, I feel fat, we need to say, I feel uncomfortable in what I'm wearing because I'm bloated. Or, you know, like, it's not about being fat, because what does that mean? And yeah, I look back now to when I was a 6 or a 4 or an 8 or a 10, and I was never happy with my body. I've never looked at myself and thought, yeah, you look amazing. Like, never. And I think that's really sad. And while I loved being a size 6, I look at the photos now. And part of me thinks, oh, I wish I was that small again. Because if I was that small again, I would be able to build on it and get muscle and be healthier that way. Because I'll put some photos on the screen, but I was unhealthy. I was very, very unhealthy looking back at it. Like, I was all bone. You know, I was very, very stressed in my job. I didn't eat too much. And on top of that, I don't know if this is going to get banned on YouTube from me saying this, but I was smoking, and not cigarettes. I was smoking fun cigarettes, let's call them, in lockdown, because I was very stressed, and yeah, there's not really an excuse, but I was. And I got to put myself maybe like 3 a day. And that was, obviously, that can mean that you can lose a lot of weight, which is probably the reason why I lost a lot of weight. And I stopped it towards the end of lockdown. So I would say it was like August 2020 that I stopped that. So obviously from then onwards, I was just gradually kind of gaining weight. Then I went on the pill in July of 2021. So from then on, gradually gained weight. So it's one of those things that it is a gradual thing. You don't notice it until you're like... And again, you don't notice it when you're losing weight. So I am obviously taking some steps now to change that, because it has stopped me from having the confidence to post on Instagram. I did a collab with Shein in February. I think the Valentine's Day collection was my last one until recent. And I was offered a follow-on collaboration, and I had to say no because I didn't feel confident enough to take photos in their clothes and post them. I didn't want to do a bad job as a creator. I've recently got back into doing collabs with Shein, which I'm so happy about. I've got an order on the way, which I'm so thrilled that they were happy to wait for me to have their confidence again. I haven't really lost weight since then. I think I've actually gained weight, but I found the confidence in myself to be able to do that. And don't get me wrong, there's days where I sit there and literally cry. The other day I took my top off to get into bed, and I was like, feeling my boobs, and Pat was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I've got stretch marks growing on my boobs. So I've got stretch marks all over my thighs, all over my bum, and don't get me wrong, I don't look at them and think, wow, they're so beautiful, But stretch marks aren't ugly. There's nothing wrong with stretch marks. Lots of people have stretch marks. I remember lots of boys at school used to get stretch marks on their backs because they grew really quickly. And that's all it is, that you're growing really quickly. And unfortunately for me, that means I've gained weight. But there's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to have stretch marks one day when I hopefully have a baby. And they're just like war scars. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can say, yeah, I've got stretch marks, but so what? Do you know what I mean? I'm a healthy person. I'm not unhealthy. I think the only time that we should be told to lose weight is if it's going to cause a serious impact to us, where we could, be risking our lives, becoming, diabetic to a point where it could risk your life, or having an impact on your heart and things like that. That's definitely not me. I am healthy. I'm doing something about it anyway to get to a better place for myself. But I just wanted to come on here and say that the size does not matter at all. And equally, I wanted to talk about the fact that this isn't just an issue for those of us that are slightly bigger. It is also an issue for people that are smaller. I've got friends who are 4 or 5 sizes smaller than me, and they equally struggle with their body image. One of my friends, I'm not going to go into detail because it's her story to tell, but one of my friends had a comment said to her about being slimmer, and it was quite derogatory, and that stayed with her for years and made her feel rubbish for years. And people think saying, oh, you're so skinny is a compliment, which to you it may be. If you wish you were smaller and somebody is smaller, it may be a compliment. But for some people who are a size 4, want to gain weight but they can't, or they struggle, or they, some people have eating disorders, to be smaller or bigger, and it does really have an impact on people. And I think it's something that will stay with us, especially this generation and generations below. It will stay with us because social media is such a big thing, where we look at girls and think, wow, look at their body. There's apps where you can make yourself look bigger and smaller, and it's scary. It's scary how fake it can be on Instagram, and that's something you need to remember. If you see a post of somebody looking super tight, A, they're probably sucking in, they know the angles they want to get, and B, they could have edited it. So just remember that. I think it is supposed to be disclosed if you edit your body, but I don't know if everybody does. I personally just do like lighting edits. I don't do any like shape editing on my photos. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that size doesn't matter, and it isn't just the people that want to lose weight that have these issues. It's also people that want to gain weight. So just please really think about it before you start saying things to people. Somebody was in my NGL thing, and they were like, what made you gain weight? And I was like, I mean, it's fine. I'm happy for people to ask me questions. I'm on the internet, do you know what I mean? I post on Instagram, post on YouTube, I post on TikTok. I understand that I'm going to get people digging or asking questions or saying things that they shouldn't do. For example, I got a comment on my Shein video from some random man saying, I'd love to see you do a thong try-on haul. Like, no. So you get comments like that, but I had a lot of messages after I replied to that question saying, what the hell, who's asking that? Like, that's so wrong. And I was like, I mean, yes, I do think it's wrong to comment on anybody's weight, but equally I put myself out there, I'm going to have questions asked. But I just think weight is the one thing. I mean, weight and appearance in general just shouldn't be commented on. I hate when people, if I'm with somebody and someone walks past something and they go, oh my God, they've gained weight. I hate that. I really, really hate that. And we've all done it. I mean, we have all done it. It's something that is drilled into us as children, like I said before. And so I've probably done it. I've probably done it 2 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm aware that it's a problem that we all need to work on, and I personally do really want to work on it. Because it's not just about judging other people, it's about judging yourself. I know that I've gained a lot of weight. I stand next to my friend who is 5 sizes smaller than me, and I feel enormous next to her. But she probably feels the opposite next to me. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, we're not the only ones dealing with these battles. If you talk to your friend, if you went around all your friends, they're going to have the same concerns, different concerns, that I may not like my thighs, your best friend may not like her stomach, it's all different things like that. But it's just to try and remember to be kind to people, because you never know what people are dealing with weight-wise, mental health-wise, anything like that. But I really want to get myself into a mindset of not letting my weight and my body stop me from living my life. I had a great time on holiday. I did get outfits that made me feel good eventually, which is really important. I know it can be hard if you fluctuate in weight to go and buy new clothes all the time, but just getting like a few basic key pieces that you know you feel good in to help you feel good, even if it's like a one casual outfit, one going out outfit, things like that. Wear the same dress 5 nights out, do you know what I mean? As long as you feel happy and confident and glowing, that's all that matters. Because if you feel good, you look good, and I think that's really important. As well for me, like learning to do my makeup, but my face is slightly fuller, contouring a bit more, contouring my neck, things like that. It's all in like a learning curve thing, and it all goes into one. You know, my hair's a lot shorter than it used to be. I feel like that makes me look bigger. It's all those kind of things that are really, really silly and minor, and nobody else notices it, but to you it's such a big thing. So I wanted to talk about it because it has impacted me and it has kept me offline for a while, but that's something I do want to change and I'm going to be working on. So hopefully you guys see me do well. I've been calorie counting this week, and myself and Pat have also started Couch to 5k. I'm not a runner, I've never been a runner in my life, so it's not something I want to do forever, but I thought running's really the best way to get my cardiovascular up and also get a bit of weight off. So that's what we're doing for now. But yeah, I'm going to work on it, see how we get on. I'm going to start studying as well in September, so I want to get myself in a nice routine. I'd like to lose a bit of weight by the time I'm 25, which is January. So we've got 6 months, or just under 6 months actually. August, September, October, November, December. 5 months to do that. But as long as I'm feeling good for our holiday next year, which we want to book, then I don't mind. So I just wanted to remind everybody that the size on your clothes does not define you. What other people think is the perfect body type does not define you. If you're seeing a boy or a girl and they're like, oh, I don't like this thing about your body, they're not right for you, because whoever's going to love you is going to love you for who you are, and you should love you for who you are. Somebody actually said to me, you know, your body is your home. You have to have this body for your whole life, so treat it well. You know, if you do want to make a change, eat good, you know, put the good things in your body to make you feel good. Sometimes I want Doritos to make me feel good, and that's okay. You know, I am counting calories, but I'm not beating myself up if I want to have a little snack. I bought 5 packs of white chocolate Reese's earlier because I haven't seen them in weeks. I'm not going to eat them all at once, but if I have one packet and that's 400 calories, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. It was a bit of a rambly one. But yeah, I thought I would just talk about it because it's been on my mind for a while to talk about. And I wanted to share it with you guys, so I like to kind of rant and talk to you guys about my life. But like I said, if you do want me to cover any topics going forward, do let me know. If you like this kind of video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Also leave me your stories if you've got any weight issues, stories you want to tell me about, you know, about your own body image issues. Leave it in the comments or DM me or send me an email. If I get a few people talking about their experiences, I may do a video on it, and I may do a follow-up in a few months see how I'm getting on. But yeah, I hope you all like this video, and I will see you all really soon.